Diversity by Giovanni Caceres. Hello, my name is Giovanni Caceres. I am a 24-year-old Mexican-American woman. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and have a connection to my presentation. I want to do justice for those with disabilities. I have endometriosis, bipolar disorder, as well as being on the autism spectrum. I personally grew up in a low-income household because my mother had a disability and wasn't able to work. Today I want to talk about disabilities and how age, geography, and many intersections can affect them. There are many different kinds of disabilities, invisible and visible. I want to do my best at sharing stories from those with disabilities and shining a light on those who have made strides in the disability community. People with disabilities navigate the world differently from those without a disability, and it can be difficult, but there are stories of those who have used it as a superpower. There are many forms of social work and resources that are going on to help those in need. Unfortunately, many people do not understand those with disabilities, and this can lead to neglect. Social workers and educators can help children and parents with helping children with disabilities to get the resources they need. There are many resources for people that are older or younger or who can develop disabilities later on in life or get diagnosed later on in life. The first resource I want to look at is from child welfare. There is a high rate of maltreatment of children with disabilities, which is due to the lack of resources, a lack of services, social isolation, and language barriers, as well as things like socioeconomic class. 1 in 3 children have faced maltreatment. Child welfare's mission is to provide resources to prevent such cases, as well as step in to help children get out of those situations. There needs to be more education and support for families, educators, and society to efficiently help those who have disabilities and to support them. The intersectionalities mentioned, such as socioeconomic class and status, are things such as, nearly 1 in 4 children from low-income households have a disability. Children and guardians living in poverty, it makes it difficult for families to access the specialized care and health services for their children. Cultural barriers such as immigration status can lead to children not receiving resources or accessibility devices such as language devices like iPads that can help children that are nonverbal communicate. This resource is helpful to ensure parents and guardians and teachers to help their students or children get the help that they need. And I want to use this information to foster a safe and inclusive environment. Child welfare fights for children to have equity in education and accessibility. Being able to advocate for children who have language barriers is important to me. With social welfare, I have learned the importance of society's outlook on those with disabilities and how it can affect them. An incredible story I have learned involves someone who is an older woman named Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin is on the autism spectrum disorder and has shared her story of growing up and using her autism as a strength. She has revolutionized humane animal handling systems, and her message is strong with uplifting kids and what they will do and not to hold them on what they struggle with. Temple's life story is important because it sheds light on women being diagnosed with autism, as well as the age that you could be diagnosed with autism. At first, she was diagnosed with brain damage, which was incorrect, and now advocates for getting correct diagnoses, as she believes early childhood intervention is the utmost important thing. She was not properly diagnosed till the age of 40. Her story is especially helpful because it is one I intend to share with the students I work with. There is a child in my class who loves to draw, and I have told him that it is his superpower. This is similar to Temple Grandin's early childhood story about how she decided that she wanted to draw horses and animals and such, and that's what she led her life to be, is working with animals. I want him to grow up and follow his dreams, and I will continue to support and encourage him to draw. With thinking about uplifting children for what they can do, UNICEF has made it their mission to shine a light on children and their talents. We, as a society, tend to have biases, and they may be unintentional, but when we see someone different from us, and we might assume that they might not be able to do something that we can do. This unintentional trait is something that needs to be worked on. I've grown quite a bit in my field, and coupling that with the research I have completed has helped me learn not to assume what people can or cannot do. The more encouragement, trust, and independence I give my students, the more their confidence will grow. My takeaway is this. People come in all shapes, sizes, and abilities. It is a duty of all to have empathy, be active in communities we are a part of, and unlearn impartial biases. Having empathy is important not to be inconsiderate of what others needs. Having empathy can help change the world and make it accessible. Being active in the community can dissolve the social isolation some may deal with, such as Temple. If we think about her and we think about the challenges that she faced because she was thought to be different, but if we look at her now and the love that her family gave her, and think about how much easier of a life she could have had if her community supported her as well. I've always heard it takes a village, right? What I feel is the catalyst for cultural equity is to face and work on the biases we have. It is important to have open, respectful communication. Do not look at those who are different and pity them, but we must be compassionate, involved, and uplift those around us. We need to be advocates for those who don't think they have a voice, and uplift them and help them build confidence. We must help create safe environments and equity in classrooms, as well as help parents get the support they need to support their children. Because life is not easy, so we need to make sure we're helping those to just make it a little bit easier. Thank you very much for listening.